we have audio because sometimes there's no audio. So now I'm talking to make sure I have something to listen to when we get the thing. There is audio. Excellent. It's coming out of the wrong speaker on my end, but who cares? I'm muting it anyway. All right. Broadcasting on Dementia Radio and recording in 3, 2, 1.
Recorded live on DementiaRadio.org, it's the Funny Music Podcast. Brought to you by TheFuMP.com, where you can download new free comedy songs twice a week. Now, here's your hosts, Devo Spice and the great Luke Ski.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the FuMPCast. Luke Ski will be joining us shortly, hopefully. We do have Drew Jacobs joining us live in this. Well, I was going to say live in the studio, but he's not here. He's north of me a few hundred miles. Hi, Drew.
Hi. How you doing, Devo?
Welcome back. Good to see you again.
Nice to be back. Thank you for having me.
Welcome to episode 601 of the Funny Music Podcast for December 23rd, 2021. Title of this week's episode is A Loud Jazzy Force Downtown. And your job is to work that into this week's conversations somehow. And I put it in the chat so you can refer to it. I put it in the chat so you can refer to it.
Oh, okay, thank you.
All right, let's do the catch-up thingy.
Let's get caught up with what Devo and Luke have been up to since last week. Or else Devo, if Luke bailed and didn't show up.
Hey, what? Oh, he's right.
Okay, so funny story that happened just like 5 minutes before we went on the air. A couple hours ago, doorbell rings. It's some kid at the door I've never seen before. He says, "Is this the Rockefeller house?" And I'm like, "It's the Rockwell house." And he goes, "Yeah, that's it. Is Connor here?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." Meanwhile, I'm like corralling two dogs who are going ape shit because the doorbell rang. So Connor comes downstairs, walks out the door, and leaves with this kid. Okay, fine, whatever. You know, he's 17, and I don't need to know everything he does. So, evening is going on. Dinner happens. No Connor, and we're like, "Where's Connor? Is he ever coming back? What's going on?" So, like 8:30, 8:45, my wife finally texts him, "Where are you? What are you doing?" His reply, "I'm at work. I'll be home at 10." We didn't know he had a job. He's never had a job. This is news to us. It's like all of a sudden he's at work. So apparently he's working at the pizza place where we get our pizza. They make Tony's up the street. They make really good pizza. And my wife had asked me to go pick up a soda for just a little 20-ounce bottle of Coke, and I really wish I had gone to Tony's to get it. But instead I went somewhere else because I was out in that other area. But I really wish I walked into Tony's to grab a soda and saw Connor behind the counter. I'm like, "What the hell are you doing here?" Because that would have been really funny, but So in other news, I went to Worldcon this past week, which was fun. It's always great doing cons in person again, and I'm wondering, like, when's the next time I'm going to get to do a con, because everything's going to shit again. But I performed at Worldcon on Friday night, and they insisted that everybody at the con had to wear masks at all times, except when you're eating in the dining room, including the performers when they were on stage. So I had to perform in a mask, and rapping in a mask is difficult because there's a lot of like quick little breaths, to get through the lines. And I ended up just sucking the mask into my mouth. And like, I didn't get as much air as I needed for the lines. So I ended up, like cutting out a couple of words here and there, just to take extra breaths so I can get through the songs. By the end of the 1 hour set, I was legitimately dizzy as I was getting off stage. I was lightheaded. And one of my friends was like, "Dude, you are beat red." And I'm like, "I can imagine." But the set went well. I got it on tape. I videoed the entire set. So I'll be using that, clips from that on my podcast, The Insider. So if people want to hear a couple of select tracks from that set, I'll be playing them on The Insider. And that's really all I've been doing other than getting ready for Christmas, which I'm not quite ready for. I think I've got all my major shopping done. I need to get a couple of gift cards and a whole bunch of candy for stockings and stuff. And then I think I'm good. I'll be doing that tomorrow. So Luke's not here. So what have you been up to, Drew?
Well, let me see. I'm almost done. Almost done with getting ready for Christmas. I think I've got all the shopping done. I finished up the food shopping today and the odds and ends. I think today, although I usually like to get out tomorrow for just a little bit, just to get that last minute Christmas feeling. But while I'm thinking about it, I was just wrapping some presents, and I'd like to thank the guy who came up with the idea of printing the grid on the back of the wrapping paper.
Oh yeah, isn't that great?
And it had to be a guy. I'm not being sexist. It had to be a guy, because women don't have that problem. They'll cut straight all day long. But whoever thought of that deserves the Nobel Prize.
It's not so much the cutting straight. It's the measuring of how much you need. You just count the squares. You fold it over and count the squares, and then you count the same number of squares on the other side, add one, and then you fold it over. You get a perfect cut. It's great.
It is absolute genius. In terms of a strange thing, you talk about your strange thing. I think it was Monday night. Ran out to the post office to mail Christmas cards, like 9:00 at night, and I'm in front of the machine, and I had a package to mail as well. So in front of the do-it-yourself machine. I love those, because not only do I already have one job, now I have two jobs, one of which is at the post office, packaging up and mailing my own stuff, Right. It's like I'm at and then my third job is at the supermarket doing the same thing. Anyhow, I digress. So I'm standing there, I'm working the machine, all of a sudden there's a phone. I'm alone, it's like 9:00 at night. I'm alone in the post office, and I hear a phone ringing, like next to me. And I look around the display, and there's a cell phone sitting on the display. So I pick it up and answer it. I say hello, and they say, "Is this Joe Blow?" I say, "No, I'm just a guy. I'm here at the post office. This phone was ringing, so I thought I would answer it." "Oh my gosh, it's my mother's phone. I'm so happy you picked it up. Where is it? How late are you guys open?" So now I really am working for the post office. No, I said, we're open 24. They're open 24 hours. I'm here for 2 minutes. I don't work here. I just heard the phone ringing. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it back where I found it. I'll tell you exactly where I found it. You can come get it. "Oh, thank you so much." So I hung up, and I felt like a good Samaritan for one night. It was kind of a crazy thing, I mean, and that actually, as I think of it, that's the second phone that I've found in the past 6 months. The other one, I was coming out of a car wash, and I pull out, do-it-yourself car wash. So I pull out, and I get out to wipe down my windows, and there's a cell phone on the ground. So I pick it up, and I start, I look at the first number, and I hit it, and the guy says, "Oh my gosh, you found my cell phone. Where was it?" I tell him. He comes back to the car wash. And so if you've lost a cell phone, ladies and gentlemen, call me, and I'll help you find it. Apparently, that's a new skill that I have.
It's your new superpower. Just
that's it.
Returning that's lost cell phones. It's a thing.
I like that. That's it.
All right, so you posted a song. Give us a quick intro to this tune, and we'll give it a listen.
Absolutely, it is a parody of an old song by Loudon Wainwright III. It was his only top 20 hit, probably his only top 40 hit. May have gotten into the top 10. I'm not sure. 1972, a song called "Dead Skunk." Which was a huge hit for him, and consequently he hates it because after, like, in the music business, you have a hit and they go, "Okay, now what's the next dead thing you're going to write and record about?" So he normally does not ever play it, but but I will play it from time to time if I'm at like a jam with a bunch of people, because it's 3 chords, and once you go through it one time, everybody goes, oh yeah, I love that song, and it's easy to play. So I got this idea actually last year, as I usually get my Christmas song ideas about December 15th, when it's kind of too late to really do anything about it. So I got the idea, I wrote it, and then over the winter I recorded it along with another song from my new CD called Santa Buddy, and actually last Christmas I walked around taking photos of flat Santas, because I figured if I'm going to do a video, I want to have the photos, I'll get the photos this year and I'll use them for next year. So I've got a phone full of photos, which actually we did a video and wound up not using any of the photos. But anyhow, Flat Santa from my new Christmas CD.
Now here he is.
Christmas ball busting.
Yep. Here is Flat Santa by Drew Jacobs.
Walking through the neighborhood last night, checking out all the Christmas lights. Saw a huge display, but the power's off. Reindeer in the pile and Santa squashed. You got your flat Santa in the middle of the lawn. Flat Santa in the middle of the lawn. Flat Santa in the middle of the lawn, waiting just to be inflated. Did they forget to pay the electric bill? The yard looks like the town landfill. You don't have to look, you can take it from me. You won't see this house on HGTV. You got your flat Santa in the middle of the lawn. Flat Santa in the middle of the lawn. Flat Santa in the middle of the lawn, waiting just to be inflated. Well, you got your flat Frosty and your flat Rudolph, your flat Nutcracker, flat dinosaurs, the Grinch and the Minions. It's really a sin. Why doesn't someone just plug them in? You got your flat Santa in the middle of the lawn. Flat Santa in the middle of the lawn. Flat Santa in the middle of the lawn, waiting just to be inflated. Flat Santa in the middle of the lawn. Flat Santa in the middle of the lawn. Flat Santa in the middle of the lawn, waiting just to be inflated.
It sounds like it's from the video.
It is. That was the video I played.
Oh, great.
So we're a video show, so I play the video. Unfortunately, I don't know any way to make the guests who are on the Zoom call see what I'm playing over Twitch. So I don't know that there's any way to do that. There might be, but I haven't figured it out yet. So, but yeah, the people watching on Twitch and the people who watch later on YouTube will see your amazing little video there.
Oh, great.
And Wildcard in the chat says the video has a lot more production than I expected. Excellent.
Thank you. That there's a story behind that, actually. A buddy of mine who's an ad agency who I've worked with said, "Hey, let's do a video." And he says, "I've got all the equipment, and I want to, he wants to get into doing some more videos like that." And I said, "Great, let's go." And so I said, "But we got to do it. It's Christmas, so let's let's get moving." So we shot my part in one day, and he had the not even one day, a couple of hours, and he had all the video stuff, all the different bits and pieces, and put it all together, and it came out great. Yeah.
Yeah, it came out great. I love Dead Skunk. It was one of the songs that stood out for me when I got the Dr. Demento Greatest Novelty Records of All Time box set. it was just one of those songs that I just gravitated to. And I don't even know why, but just I thought it was really funny.
It's
So-
it's such a silly song, really.
Yeah.
It's-
So hearing this parody, I was like, yeah.
Excellent. Thank you. I couldn't believe nobody else had parodied it on for anything else.
Really? There's no other ones at all?
I looked on YouTube. I Googled. I didn't see anything. I saw a bunch of people just doing their versions of Dead Skunk, but nothing. No parodies.
I think I've heard at least one, but I can't think of it. But anyway, so yeah, the phenomenon of the deflated inflatables is like, I kind of wish I thought of doing a song about that, but it always struck me as I'm driving around and I'm seeing like all these deflated things all over people's lawns. It looks like the aftermath of the night Santa went crazy. It looks like holiday corpses all over the yard. All you need is like blood splatters and stuff.
Well, thank you. Yeah, no, I got a real charge of it. Like, I love the song as well, and I'm real pleased with the way it came out. With the banjo uke and all the other instrumentation. I try not to overproduce, but I think I hit it right where I wanted it to be, But I had a good model,
Yeah, came out very cool. So yeah, tell us about the Christmas Ball Busting album.
Yeah, I had, on my first 3 CDs, I've had at least one Christmas song every CD. And over the years, I'd recorded a bunch of others and never released them. But I've got a CD of holiday music that I'll play at Christmas time, and I've thrown them on that. And I said, I really should do something about that. And then when I had Flat Santa and then Santa Buddy, I said, okay, let's do a Christmas CD. And I had the idea, earlier this year, but never did anything about it. And then it got to October, and it got to the end of October. I said, I better get moving. But fortunately, it all came together really fast and really easily. And it's gone over, the timing, as it turned out, just worked out perfectly between the Kickstarter campaign running to the end of November and having the CD ready to go out and get to the places that it needed to be, like the FuMP, like Dr. Demento, and local radio has picked it up a bit.
Oh, cool.
And had a really nice article in the local newspaper about not only the CD but comedy music and what I do in general. So it's been pretty exciting. It's been a fun holiday season in that regard, and I'm real proud of the way it came out. You know what I was thinking? For the next FuMP Fest, you should maybe think about doing a session of Christmas in July or Christmas in August, because we've all got Christmas songs, that we can do a whole bunch, one.
Yeah, like a round robin, Christmas, concert.
Exactly.
Yeah, I've got a couple Christmas songs I could do, sure.
Yeah, I think that would be kind of a fun idea.
Sure, we can do that. But I wanted to say, so I backed your Kickstarter, and I got your CDs in record time. It was like, hey, he needs your address. Fill out this survey thing. Okay, I filled out the survey, and like 2 days later, there's a pile of CDs in the mail, and I'm like, how the hell did he do this so fast? Okay, so clearly you had the CDs ready to go when you were doing the Kickstarter.
The guys in fulfillment worked overtime in the shipping department, and fulfillment really went all out. But my real reason was because it's Christmas. I didn't want you to get it December 20th.
Yeah.
I wanted everybody to get it. Everybody who was nice enough to to support it, to get it as soon as possible, so I just made sure that as soon as I got everybody's addresses, boom, right to the post office.
Excellent.
And I'm in the post office, and the woman goes, "I didn't know we had a local celebrity." The woman behind the counter. Really? So yeah, I saw the articles. Well, would you like to buy a CD?
Oh no.
No. I didn't like the article. I just saw the article.
Yes. It's nice you have CDs. I don't want to buy CDs, but it's nice you have CDs. Yeah.
Good for you, she said. Good for you. That rich fantasy life that you're living is really coming true. You know?
Yeah, I get a lot of that myself.
Yeah, but I like, people call the CD Christmas ball busting, but it's not. It's Christmas ball busting, because it's a Christmas ball on the cover of the CD that's broken.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a Christmas ball busting. It's not Christmas ball busting. You see, there's that would be dirty.
Right. Yes. We don't want that.
Christmas ball busting. No, I don't. Christmas ball busting. That's okay.
That's fine. Yes. Well done, by the way, with that.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
It's like the Four Postmen album. Is it hit record or hit record? How do you pronounce it? Which way? So, Luke, are you with us? I see your cartoon face. I saw Luke briefly with his phone, so I don't know if he's actually joined us or not, but maybe he will.
He's giving us the silent treatment. It's his way of telling us he's here, but not all the way.
His brain is in Christmas land already. So, all right. So, do you have anything you'd like to plug?
Well, if you haven't bought the CD, by all means, there's still time. Makes a great download. You could download it from iTunes. It's on, through CD Baby, and that's the other thing. Rich Fantasy Life. I got a notice from CD Baby that they've sold out of the 5 that they keep in stock, like last week. So I call it my fastest selling CD ever.
I sold 5. Yes.
Can't wait to get that check.
I just got a whole box of FuMP CDs back from CD Baby that they told me they couldn't sell and they didn't want anymore. So,
but it's available. You can stream it on Amazon. You can stream it on you buy it on iTunes, Apple Music. It's Spotify, the whole schmear. So even if you don't want to buy it, you could certainly listen to it on any of those services, and I'll get my 3/4 of a penny for every song that you that you listen to.
You get that much, huh? I didn't think it was quite that much.
I got a special deal.
Okay. That's great to hear. All right, so are you going to stick around for the rest of the show, or are you taking off?
Absolutely.
All right.
No, I'm here.
Okay, cool. Let's do some news.
Tired of those same old Christmas songs you hear every 15 minutes on the radio? Well, if you're looking for something completely different, then why not enjoy the more wackier side of Christmas music? It's our annual Wackiness on the Rise Christmas Cheer, where for 3 weeks, it's 3 days of some of the funniest Christmas songs and parodies that'll bring joy to your holiday season, especially during times like now. 3 Yuletide shows, 3 hours of Yuletide hilarity. The holiday laughter begins Friday, December 10th to Christmas Eve on madmusic.com, which by some Christmas miracle will hopefully be fixed, and archive.org. 'Tis the season to be wacky.
Time for funny music news. Something.
In the news, okay, the only news I have this week is that the FuMP Newsletter went out earlier today for December of 2021, where we discuss a whole bunch of new releases, including the new release from Drew Jacobs, Christmas Ball Busting, and a couple of new videos and a whole bunch of briefs and, tour dates and all the usual stuff. If you're not on our mailing list, you can sign up for a free account at thefump.com. and you will get the monthly newsletter. Or you can read it online at tiny.cc/FuMP1221. That's for December of 2021. tiny.cc/FuMP1221. Luke, are you there? No. Okay. He's just mocking us at this point with that little cartoon drawing of his head. All right. Tour dates. On Sundays in Nashville, Tennessee, Steve Goody hosting at the Bluebird, although I don't know how much longer that's going to last. Tuesdays online, Phil Johnson and Roadside Attraction. Thursdays online, Steve Goody and Brad Tassel. On the 26th online, MC Lars. On the 26th in Princeton, New Jersey, Larry Tritel. On the 27th in Sunnyvale, California, Phil Johnson and Roadside Attraction. On the 31st in Monterey, California, MC Lars. On the 31st in Winchester, Virginia, Carla Ulbrich. And on the 31st in Ewing, New Jersey, Larry Tritel. All right. Okay. Our second song this week is by newcomers to the FuMP, Dead by 28, about another holiday that's happening around this time of year, Festivus. Here is Grievances by Dead by 28.
Well, I'm writing out a list of grievances, the grievances that I've been thinking about this year. And now I'm writing out a list of grievances for Festivus. The holidays are almost here. Yeah, I set up an aluminum pole instead of a Christmas tree this year. I'm gonna wrestle my friends just to see who's boss when Festivus is finally here. Racist, homophobes, and American flags are some things I have some grievances with. People who don't get vaccinated make me kinda irritated, and I can't help but laugh when they get COVID. I'm airing up my grievances, I am. I'm airing out. Okay. Alright, happy Festivus. Annie James and Remy Dean, you two stars think they're better than me. Turtlenecks and dogs that bark, all the kids at the goddamn park. Rocky now he's 2 and 5, the second and third kiss alive. They're tagging the 200th episode of the original Twilight Zone. Republicans and Democrats and all the greedy fat cats is a grievance I have every single year. So once again it's on my list of things that get me pissed. Ooh, the holidays are almost here. Consumerism and capitalism has my life just become a prison of paying bills and going to work. I'm trying hard to write good lyrics, hoping my friends would want to hear it. They never do, so I just feel like a jerk. I'm airing out my grin. I am. That's right. Okay. Alright, happy Festivus. All 3 of the Star Wars prequels, 1 or 2 of the Disney sequels, Simpsons after season 10. Just bring back Futurama again. Getting my car fixed when it's broke. Running out of weed to smoke. Never having enough money. People who say that I'm not funny. Yeah, I believe it is. Believe the reason is the reason for the reason is. They're not grievances. Yeah, I believe it is. The reason is the reason for the reason is. They're not grievances. Pet dispensers and pirate shirts, pantyhose and miniskirts. Movies going back to theaters. Anyone whose name is Peter. People with the last name Trump. I can't return this penis bump. Country music, cowboy boots, and people who wear expensive suits. Yeah, I believe it is. The reason is the reason for the reason is. They're not grievances. My boss, she's still on cutting slack, and Playgirl never called me back. I will never improve my life, and I still cannot leave my wife. Yeah, I believe it is. The reason is the reason for the season is. They're not grievances. Yeah, I believe it is. The reason is the reason for the season is. They're not grievances.
I'm here with Dead by 28. Now, do you guys want to go by Sean and Chris, or do you want to go by Disman and Keymaster?
Both are fine, really.
Okay. So
Yeah,
which is which? Who's who here?
I'm Chris the Disman. I am the singer and bass player.
I am Sean, the keymaster. I do keyboards, programming, and the music production.
Nice. So you have a keymaster. Do you have a gatekeeper too?
Unfortunately, I have no official gatekeeper, but I do have a wife, so I'm sure she would be glad to be called the gatekeeper.
That works.
Yeah.
So since this is your first time on the show, give us a little bit of background, who you are, where you're from, what you do, all that good stuff.
Well, we're Dead by 28. We've been making music in the Detroit area for 20 years. We haven't always been making like comedy music. We've always been a little comedic because, you can't keep me from comedy. But I'm just done with I wanted to do something new. I needed something different. Like I didn't want to do the same old stuff that we've been doing all our lives. I wanted to do something more fun. So now we're doing I'm just trying to be funny.
Well, mainly what happened with the comedy aspect is during lockdown, while we were both at home with a lot of spare time, we figured we would start doing music again.
And it was it was funny.
And it was more fun to do the funny aspect rather than the more dark aspect that we were doing in the past. So we kind of leaned into the comedy, and we've leaned into comedy a lot in the past. We had a side project called Puddle of Blood, which was actually more just a straight comedy rap album. And we didn't do much with it at the time because of behind the scenes stuff. But this allowed us a chance to kind of take Dead by 28 in that direction. And in the process of that, we also did some cover songs to kind of keep ourselves entertained. And we leaned into the comedy songs that we liked from the past then before putting out a new album that was more comedy heavy.
Like Fish Heads.
Yes.
Polka.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I was reading the bio you posted on the FuMP, and a sound that fuses horror, comedy, punk, industrial rap music with movies, cartoons, and skit comedy. You're like hitting all of my check marks there. So this is, I like this.
Well, glad to hear it. Most people don't, but that's just a small fragment of the inspiration that we've taken over the years. But comedy has always been there in some form, and we've liked doing parody songs. But a lot of our parody songs are heavy on knowing us as a band beforehand. If you don't know us, then the parodies we're doing will kind of go over your head.
Gotcha. Okay. So tell us about Grievances.
Oh, well, big Seinfeld fan, and I love the whole idea of Festivus. I love the holidays as it is, and just to stretch them out is awesome. I love to have Festivus, then Christmas Eve, then Christmas Day, and like every year on Festivus, I watch the Seinfeld episode, and I've just been watching tons of Seinfeld reruns now because it's on Netflix, and it's so comforting to watch the old Seinfeld. Just had to write a song about Festivus because we wanted to write a holiday song, and what better holiday to do than Festivus?
Yeah. Now, is that a Festivus poll behind you?
Yeah.
It sure is.
Yes, it is.
This is nice. The one in our music video that hopefully people just saw.
Plus, I'm just, I'm a kind of guy that has lots of grievances, so it seems a good way to go.
We've seen that there's a lot of other Festivus songs out there, but they lean heavy into just explaining what Festivus is. We wanted to take it more personal and kind of let you know what our personal grievances were for the last year. And I'm sure a lot of people do have grievances. What about you? Do you have any grievances this year?
I have lots of grievances. You mentioned a lot of them in your song.
I'd like to hear any that you didn't mention.
I'd have to. A lot of my grievances are things that like things I deal with on a day-to-day basis at work, that are just hard to explain and don't really work outside of my work environment. So it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
But I love how Festivus has kind of taken off. It's so weird that certain aspects of Seinfeld have made it into our day-to-day lives. And I had to rent a car a couple of weeks ago, and I literally went through that episode's routine because they didn't have my reservation when I walked into Enterprise.
And I have a reservation then.
And I'm like, you know how to take the reservation, you don't know how to hold the reservation. And I went through that whole thing, and so now it's like Festivus is like it's become a thing that people are doing, and it's amazing that one episode of Seinfeld has taken off so much that people are actually celebrating the holiday somewhat.
It really is. Do you watch wrestling?
Not so much, no.
I don't really watch it either, but like the new WWE one of the champions, his name is Big E, and he's wearing a Festivus inspired ring gear.
Nice.
Like I think he debuted it in like in November, just with like some like Seinfeld ring gear, and like that really, I was just like, oh my gosh, that's the best thing wrestling's done possibly ever.
So for this song, what how would you describe your sound like musically? What are you going for here?
Well, it's obviously dark sounding, but I think it's like dark but kind of fun sounding. It's got like, I think the bass is kind of bouncy, and there's like a fun little background guitar in there.
It's got a real metal edge to it, but our guitar player who isn't here, Sissy, he loves the metal, and a lot of our guitar ends up being very metal because of that. That's one of the influences he brings to the table that kind of makes our sound a little unique.
That's what I like about our music. Everybody, we all have like different styles, and we like meld them together to make something that sounds different to me. But yeah, no, most people don't like it, but I like it.
You're going to find that, especially with the comedy, is that people will like it, but they won't like it enough to pay for it. You know, so that's...
We're used to that. We've been living in that world for about 20 years.
Yeah, stories for life.
No, I think this is neat. You're right. It's a dark, but it's kind of bouncy and happy at the same time. It's a neat mixture of sound. I definitely need to check out more of your music, because this is right up my alley on so many levels.
We'll send you whatever you can tolerate. We have quite a back catalog, and if you happen to have Spotify or Apple Music, most of our music that we put out over the last 20 years is available for anybody to listen to.
And awesome. We're releasing more cover songs. We're doing a NoFX Hot Dog in a Hallway, and we're doing a Weird Paul song. I don't know if you've ever heard of him.
No,
he's weird.
He better be with that
he's
name.
Definitely in the comedy, the genre.
Yeah, he's definitely a comedy guy.
Cool. So, are you guys working on any new projects, new albums, or anything?
We working on lots of stuff. We're working on original songs. We're re-recording old songs that we didn't think were good enough. We're trying to do some parodies. We're trying to do as much as we can.
One of the things we've been doing over the last year is a series of singles that we're putting out of cover songs that we're calling Mutations and Desecrations. And with that, it gave us a time to kind of focus on songs we've always wanted to cover and never had a chance to. The first song we did was Nirvana Negative Creep, just because it kind of fit our style so well. And from there, we did a parody of Crisscross Jump. Then we did Fish Heads, Punk Polka, a Cop Shoot Cop song called Everybody Loves You When You're Dead, an old rap song called I Am a Dope Fiend. And again, we have the NoFX and the Weird Paul next up in that series.
Kind of all over the place.
But it shows that our inspirations are all over the place. So we wanted to do an album that kind of reflected that, and we can kind of release it on the fly whenever we want to.
Just have fun with it,
Nice. I love Punk Polka. I'd love to hear what you guys did with that.
That was fortunately for us, that was the first time we got on the Dr. Demento show. He played Punk Polka at the beginning of this year, right after we put it out.
That was a proud moment. I bragged to everyone I knew.
You know what? I probably heard it then.
Yep, it was on.
Now that you mention it,
one other song a few months ago. We did a song called Zomboogie, which is more like a Halloween dance song, and he played that one as well recently. But that one is on Cracked, our new album, that also has a couple other songs that we may hear on this show in the future.
Awesome, sounds great. Yeah, I got to dig into your back catalog.
I'll send it your way. You'll be telling me to stop soon enough.
Don't dig too deep.
All right. So, do you guys have anything you'd like to plug?
Yeah. Follow us on Facebook. We need more Facebook friends. What else are we on?
Subscribe to us on our YouTube channel.
You gotta subscribe to the YouTube channel.
Keyword Dead by 28 on everything, no spaces.
Yeah, just search Dead by 28, no spaces.
You can find us on Apple Music, Spotify, anywhere digital music is available. You can hear our stuff, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, just try it.
All right, sounds good. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to hearing
Thank
more stuff
you.
from you in the future.
Thanks for having us.
That's awesome.
Making the internet absolutely ridiculous. Dementia Radio.
www.dementiaradio.org. Port 8027.
Please hang up and try again.
This is the part where there's feedback.
Feedback.
Feedback, you know that segment of the show we do about now?
Feedback. Feedback.
Feedback.
Okay, there is no feedback this week, but a Luke Ski has appeared. Hi, Luke.
Hi, how are you doing, Devo Spikes and Drew Jacobs?
Hi, Luke.
I'm doing well. Luke is wearing a green screen, so if anyone wants to put a Star Wars thing onto him, when we're done here, you can do that. So how you been, Luke?
I spent most of the day traveling out to Wisconsin to be with my mom for the Christmas week. And, I was, I texted you earlier and I was kind of keeping my eye on the clock. And I was like, okay, I'll just quietly head upstairs because my brother and his wife are here too. So I figured I'll just go be on the FuMPCast and not bother anybody. And then right before, basically like 10 seconds before you texted me, saying that you sent me the link, my mom said that she wanted to talk to us about some stuff going on with relatives in the family that's important and stuff. And it's oh, okay. So we had that conversation, and then the conversation pivoted to something else that wasn't as serious. So I came upstairs and I started the Zoom button thingy, and then almost immediately after I connected with you guys and saw your faces, my phone rang and it was my sister. So, which led to me going downstairs and putting her on speakerphone, and then we had a whole other big family conversation. So, yeah.
So that's what Luke was doing instead of being on the FuMPCast. He was being busy with his family. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way it works. And as far as what I've been up to since last week I was working again, and then I made more blue.
I see the blue. I like the blue.
Yeah, this is a much bolder, brighter color. I mean, you can't really tell in this particular video, but yeah, I have some pictures posted on my social media for y'all to see. So yeah, I'm happy with it. So
cool.
But yeah, I can't think of anything else to say, and there's no feedback. So what else do we do?
We do the end of the show stuff, which is this.
Teasing. He's a teasing kind of guy. Now you have a job.
Yeah. All right, tomorrow's song is by Insane Ian. What? And
Tuesday's song is not yet posted.
Yeah. So Tuesday's song is not yet posted. And this week's Spotify playlist topic is Christmas one more time. And then we'll get into other stuff because it'll be after Christmas at that point. So, all right, Drew, plug yourself one more time.
DrewJacobs.com. If you go on Facebook, Funny Drew Jacobs is my music page. Feel free to jump in on that. Bunch of videos, working on some new songs. You know what I am doing? I forgot to mention. I'm taking, and I did this in the fall. I'm going to do it again. I'm taking a course with Trevor from the Arrogant Worms.
Oh yeah, he does songwriting courses, right?
Yeah, he does songwriting and comedy writing, and in January he's doing a comedy writing course that I'm going to jump in on as well. It starts, I think, on the first week in January, Tuesday. I think it's the 4th or something. But if you're at all interested, folks, get on Trevor's website and find out the information. It was a lot of fun. I did it in the fall and got a lot of good feedback on material, both stand-up stuff, as well as a comedy song that I'm working on that hopefully I'll record here in the upcoming months once we get past Christmas.
Great. Yeah, that's. I saw he was doing that, and I'm like, yeah, it's tempting. I might, maybe. So
I would recommend it if you have stuff that you're working on.
That's the problem. I always have stuff I'm working on. I'm going to have stuff I'm working on till I'm dead.
Well, yeah, but it's a good way, because I've taken songwriting workshops with different people that aren't comedy songwriters, and with mixed results.
Yeah.
Whereas Trevor, he's done a little bit of what we do.
He does it very well too.
He does it very well. I was excited because the week before last, I was on the Dr. Demento show, and the Arrogant Worms are on the Dr. Demento show with the same show, and I went, yay! So that was kind of fun. But the feedback, not only from Trevor, but from the other people who aren't necessarily comedy songwriters, but people who are interested in writing comedy, whether it's stand-up or sketch, was all good and really very helpful. So if you're looking for that kind of feedback and to be able to learn from other people's what they're doing and how the feedback is affecting them, it's worth doing. I recommend it.
Cool. Yeah, I may look into that.
And they're all Canadian too, except for me. I'm the only American. So the language barrier.
Yeah, there's a little. All right, Luke, you got anything else?
Not really. I wish I would have had something, but I don't.
That's fine.
So
you don't have to have anything. You're not obligated to.
Soon
right.
You'll have indigestion. Yeah.
Yes. All right, let's get out of here. Thank you for listening to the Funny Music Podcast. I'm Devo Spice.
And I'm just barely Luke Ski, and then there's Drew Jacobs.
Hi.
Thank you for listening to the Funny Music Podcast. You can listen live every Thursday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific at DementiaRadio.org and join us in the chat. Or subscribe to the podcast feed. Look us up on iTunes and be sure to leave us a review. Feedback for the show can be sent to info@thefump.com. The Funny Music Podcast is a production of FIDM Interactive, LLC, released under a Creative Commons share-alike license. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, shout it to random people on the street, and be sure to visit thefump.com for the latest funny songs. Tune in next week where you'll hear Luke Ski say,
So you say your grandma got run over by a reindeer. Is that what's probably bothering you, Bunky?